Well, hey everybody, it is Monday night. That's right, Monday night. You know what that means. It is check-in Monday. It's check-in time. Good to have you with me tonight. Thank you so much for joining. And it's always a blessing to deal with you and correspond with those of you on this on these Monday nights. It's always a blessing. I tell you, there's a lot been going on and a lot of things happening in the world. And we originally started this check-in Monday by checking in with our loved ones, family, and friends to make sure they were okay. And during the pandemic, of course, we lost a lot of people. And even since the pandemic, I want to send my condolences out to a family, some friends of mine, the Moore family that lost Sister Jerry Moore, that lost her husband, Brother Carl, today. And we're praying for that family. They were members of our church, and praying for them in the midst of all of this. You know, it is so important for us, as I've said so many times, to love each other while we have each other, to deal with each other and be kind to each other while we have each other here. And so we want to do that. So we want to be praying for them. Now, if this is your first time joining me on this, on here, I need you to do this for me. Just put in the comment section, first time. Let me know it's your first time being with me on a Monday night, your first time being a part of this. Those of you that's been there before know we do this. We like and share, and so I want you to like, share. Let's do that tonight. Make comments and all of that. And I know that it will be a blessing to you as we're sharing on tonight. So let's get right into this check-in Monday. Let me see. I'm going to try to do what I do during our Bible study, but let me see how that'll work out and see how that'll do. If I can do that and put these comments on the screen and see how it works out there. And let's see. We're going to see how we can put the comments on the screen and get them right. All right. Look like it's going to work. All right. So we're going to put comments on the screen. Y'all be nice now. Don't be bad. Don't be bad tonight. Be nice as we put the comments on the screen. All right. There we go. Comments on the screen. And we're grateful to have you with us on this evening. All right. So let's there we go. Comments on the screen. Got you with us for your comments. Those that are joining us, thank you so much for joining us tonight. All right, let me get right into this. You know, I've been thinking about this, and, you know, tomorrow is August 1st, which means we're going to be, tomorrow, August 1st, we're going to be basically 5 months away from the end of the year. Almost 5 months away from going into 2024. And look like 2023 has went by very quick. It's been fast. It hasn't been slow. A lot has happened in 2023 that we were some expecting, some that we were not expecting, but God has been good to us, and so we give him praise for everything that he has done. But now I want to talk to you about these last 5 months. I want to talk to you about these last 5 months. As we go into August 1st tomorrow, we've got 5 months left in the year. What are we going to do with these 5 months? There's a scripture, and I usually don't deal with scripture on Monday nights, but I had to use this because this is a drop in the background on this. In 2 Kings chapter 7, it's a drop in the background because it says, "And there were 4 leprous men at the entering of the gate, and they said one to another, Why sit ye here until we die? If we say we will enter in the city, then the famine is in the city, and we shall die. And if we sit here, we die also." And so they begin to ask the question, why sit ye here until we die? What is the purpose of sitting here until we die? Because if we sit here, we're going to die anyway. If we go into the city, there's a possibility that we may live. They may have mercy on us, but it is a certain thing that if we stay in here, if we sit here, we're going to die. If we sit here, our fate is sealed. If we sit here, nothing's going to happen. Everything that we probably was looking for to do, it's going to be sealed here. And so my question tonight to those of you that are viewing live and those of you that will watch on demand on this Monday night is, why are you sitting here? We got 5 more months left. Why are you sitting here? And then the most important question is, what are you waiting on? What are you waiting on? I mean, sometimes we're sitting and we're just sitting there and we're waiting, and we got 5 months left, and we got to ask ourselves, what am I waiting on? I know some people say I'm waiting on God. Some of us, that's not even true. God's already provided, made a way, and sometimes we haven't walked through the door that's already been opened. So you got to ask yourself, and we must ask ourselves, what am I waiting on? What am I waiting on people to do? God bless you, Sister Hall. What am I waiting on people to do? What am I waiting on? What am I waiting on? Have you ever asked yourself that question in just your quiet moments, your quiet time? What am I actually waiting on? What and who am I waiting on? What am I waiting on, and what am I waiting on people to do for me? Because some of us, we're waiting on something, and so sometimes we're just sitting and we're doing nothing. We haven't made a move to do anything, and we're waiting on people. And sometimes one of the most dangerous things you could do to hinder your progress is to wait on people that really have no intentions on helping you anyway. They have no intentions of doing anything for you. They have no intentions on helping you. And you're just sitting there and you're waiting and you're waiting and you're waiting. And the question is, what are you actually waiting on? And you got to keep asking yourself, what am I waiting on? What am I doing? Let me move these comments up a little bit here. You got to ask yourself, what am I waiting on? What am I actually doing? And you keep asking yourself that, what am I waiting on? What is my thing here? Why am I sitting here? And when you are just sitting there, sometimes it shows a sense of inactivity, which means you're not doing anything to move forward towards your goals, your objectives, the things that you want for your life. You're just sort of sitting there, and inactivity produces, when you have inactivity, you're not doing anything. When there's inactivity, you just sort of sitting around waiting on what? And you've got this inactivity. Anything that's inactive, anything that doesn't move, when there's inactivity, that means there's nothing coming in, nothing going out. And so a lot of us, we've got a life that's full. It's not active. It's active in some things, but when it comes to our goals and objectives and the things we really want, we are inactive because we're waiting. And I've always said this, and I'm going to say it again tonight. You've got to stop letting yourself be held hostage on promises. Okay? I need y'all to get that tonight. You need to stop allowing yourself to be held hostage, being held a hostage on promises. Because sometimes our inactivity comes because we're waiting on somebody to come through for us. And because we're waiting on them and they're not doing anything, then there we are stuck because we're waiting on somebody else. And you can't function your life just on promises from people. Now, you can function on a promise from God because his promises are good. They're yea, they're amen. But you cannot function and live your life waiting on promises from people. You can't let people hold you hostage and do that when you're talking about those things. You can't allow yourself to let people hold you hostage on different things. And so when you think about that, our inactivity many times is because we are waiting on people, and we become inactive because of the fact that they promised us. Have you ever, I mean, really think about that. Have you ever had somebody promise you something and you put off doing some other stuff, hoping and wishing that they would come through, and they never did? Never did, never did, never came through, never helped you. And how much time did you waste waiting on them? How much time did you leave active things and became inactive, hoping they would come through, only to find out at the last minute they told you they couldn't do it? And now you in a tight place because you could have did some other things. So never let yourself become inactive and be held hostage on promises. Don't do that. That's not what you want to do. All right? So that inactivity, and sometimes we got to understand that we cannot be idle, inactive, wasting time doing nothing and not moving in any direction where we're trying to go. Now, don't get me wrong, and I'm not going to be long this night. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that you should go ahead of God, but many times God has already given us directions, and we're just sitting there waiting for what? If he gave you directives already, what are you waiting on? Especially if you're sure that it's God. If you know it's God, what are you waiting on? Why aren't you moving in that direction? Why aren't you focusing and moving in that direction? I remember when I got a prophecy years ago that we were going to be moving. Someone says, I see you moving into a house. Matter of fact, it's the house I'm in now. When I first came to this house, I was not buying this house. I was renting this house. And then it became, they said you got to either buy it or move. And the Lord blessed us to move. I'm not move, but to buy the house. But now, when I first got that word that we were going to move, we went and started getting boxes. We got boxes. Yeah, went to the store, got boxes, and started packing stuff up. Now, somebody say, y'all crazy. No, we were moving in the direction of what he had already said. So we were putting our faith into action, saying no need to wait until we get the house. Let's pack now that when we get it, we'll be ready to move. And sometimes you've got to start moving in that direction before time. Same thing happened when I became the president of evangelism. Most people don't know. From day one, I was already set. And I didn't even know actually if I was going to be the president. I didn't know that of evangelism for the Church of God in Christ. I had no idea that I was going to be the president. I didn't know. But now what I did know was that October, I can tell you the story, that October, Pastor Darrell Winston was at my church for our appreciation, and he was sitting there, and he came to preach, and when he got up to preach, he says, let me tell you what the Lord told me on the way over here. Let me tell you what he showed me. He said, the Lord showed me on the way over here that you were going to be the president. He said, president, he said, you're going to be the head of some group in the Church of God in Christ. And he said, I don't know nothing about Church of God in Christ. He said, but you're going to be the head of some group in the Church of God in Christ. And he said, whoever these people are, they are evangelists. They travel. He said, I don't know what that means. He said, but you're going to be the head of that group. That was in October. I wasn't the president. I was the first vice, but they hadn't made no decisions. There was an election year. Nothing had been settled at all. And so only thing I had was a word that said, that's what you're going to be. And so I tell you what I did, and my deacon, God rest his soul, Deacon Roy Davis, one Sunday we were at the church, and the first pictures that I had on the first flyers when I became the president I think it was like in November, the first part of November, I gave him my camera and I said, follow me. And I sit in the chair, took pictures, stood and took pictures. We were taking pictures. Uh, 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 we were taking pictures. And he asked me, he said, Pastor, why are we taking all these pictures? I said, I'm taking them for when I become the president of the Department of Evangelism. I had no idea I was going to be the president. All I had was his word. All I had was the man of God saying, whatever this group is, you're going to be the president. Well, the leadership conference was in Atlanta in that January, and the last day of the meeting, they announced these are the appointments for the next 4 years, and they got and started calling names, and they got to the Department of Evangelism. For the Department of Evangelism, Pastor Dennis Martin is the president of the Department of Evangelism. Now, what most people didn't know, the very first day, I didn't know I was going to be the president, but that day I had a meeting immediately after my appointment. I had forms already to get information from people. The website, all I had to do is go and publish it. The website was already up. Everything was already going. I didn't wait until it happened. I started moving in that direction of what I'd heard. And the word I heard was I was going to be the president. So I moved in that direction. I didn't wait till I got to be the president. I started moving in that direction. Sometimes we don't move in the direction, even though we got it, and we still waiting on something. You got to go and do what he told you to do. Stop waiting on it. Stop waiting on people to well, I'm gonna wait and see what they're gonna do. No, if you know it's a word from God, don't sit there till you die. Make a move. Start going, doing what you got to do. Move in that direction. Because when you move in that direction, guess what'll happen? God will turn around and bless you and give you what you need because he just wants to see. It'll be like Abraham. He told Abraham, go and sacrifice your son, your only son. Abraham didn't know that God was going to provide for himself a sacrifice. He didn't know he was going to provide for himself. He didn't know that there would be a ram caught in the thickets. He didn't know that. All he did know that God was going to do it because he said to those, wait here while me and the lad go yonder and worship and we'll return again. He knew he was coming back, but he didn't know exactly what was going on. All he knew is God told him to do it. And when he did it, God said, because you were not willing to withhold your child, your only son from me, then I will provide. And God provided for himself a lamb. You got to understand that you can't be waiting and not going in the direction that God is telling you to go. You got to know when to go, and just know the thing you got to be certain of is God. All right? So here we are. What are you waiting on? What are you waiting on? Some of us have had plans on paper for years, and we still haven't done anything. We've had plans on paper. We've anything and everything. We've talked about it. We've discussed it. We went over it with other people. We've got their opinions, and we still haven't done anything. Some of us have got stuff on paper and plans that we've had 10 or more years and haven't done anything. I did this book. Let me get my book. It's a good plug time, I guess. I did this book, Help I'm Grieving, Dealing with the Process. But now understand, I did this book, and finally when it got it done, and and my wife pressed me, said, you need to go on and get it done. So I said, let me get it done. But now understand, that was not my first book. It's my first book that I published. I got another book that I've been had in the can. And I'm being transparent. I've been had in the can probably 10 years. And I need to go on and publish it. And the title of the book is Victim of Self. And I need to publish it. I done had it proofread and everything over and over again. And just sitting there and haven't done anything with it. But I'm going to get that book done, y'all. But you understand what I'm saying? Sometimes we got these plans and we've got all this stuff on paper, and we waiting on people to validate and approve what we know we already need to be doing. Just get up and do it. Stop just stop acting like, well, I'm going to do. No, go on and do it. It's right there to get done. So go on and do it. It's on paper. You done went over it and over it. How long are you going to hold it? Are you going to fool around and leave here with it still unpublished? So go on and get it done. Go on and get it done. Don't hesitate anymore. Some of you, God has called you, and sometimes what he's called you to do don't necessarily mean they have to be in the pulpit, don't have to be glamorous, don't have to be in the limelight, and sometimes people will make you feel you ain't nothing because you ain't on my level, you ain't doing it. No. Understand the stuff he's got and put in your spirit, the plans that he's got, the book that he planned and got for you. Get up and go do it. This book, Help I'm Grieving, was birthed from this Monday night thing right here. When I was talking about grieving on those Monday nights, that book was birthed from here. And what I had to do, a fire had to be lit under me to get up and go do it. If I hadn't done it, it'd have still been here on a piece of paper waiting to be published. I had to get up. And some of you, I'm challenging you to get up, all right? There comes a time when you've got to get up and say, I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to what? Do it. Nike said, just do it. Some of us, we just got to what? Do it. You got to tell yourself, I'm going to make a move. I'm almost through. I'm going to make a move. I need y'all to type that in the comment section. I'm going to make a move. I'm going to make a move. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a move. I'm going to make a move. You got to make a move. And that's important in making a move. If you never start, then you never know what God can do until you get started. So what you need to do is get up and make a move. You got 5 more months left. Start tomorrow is the 1st. Make a move. Get up and say, you know what? I'm going to make some moves. I got 5 months and I'm going to make a move. That's when I'm going to make a move. I'm going to put some things, and when I put it there, God's going to bless it because I'm going to make some moves. I'm going to stop sitting here waiting on everyone else, waiting on their promise. I'm going to get up and get started. It's important to make moves. You never know what God's going to do if you don't make a move. I hope this is helping somebody. I'm about to close this, but let me tell you something. I remember I had a member, and some things were happening with them, and they were working on temp jobs. Temp jobs was popular back a couple years ago, where you would go and you would work for 1 or 2 days. You didn't have no benefits. You didn't have anything. You just worked on temp jobs. If they call you, you could go somewhere and work 1 day. You could go somewhere and work 3 weeks. You can go somewhere and work 2 days. But you had no benefits. You were just getting a check for that time that you worked. There were no benefits connected to it. And they were just going and just trying to get thing with temp jobs. And the Lord gave me a word for them in service one day and said, the Lord said to tell you that he's going to plant your feet on solid ground. Well, an opportunity came up from one of the temp jobs that they had. The opportunity came up, and when that opportunity came, they offered them, from them working on the temp service a few days, they offered them and made a place where they would get a permanent position. And I remember that the member called me and asking, Pastor, what do you think I should do? What do you think I should do about this job and the money that they offer me? I said, take it. Because remember, the Lord said he's putting your feet on solid foundation. Well, that's what they did. And that was 20 years ago. Are you following me? 20 years ago, 20 years later, still on solid foundation. You got to make a move. You got to make a move. God will put you on solid ground, but you got to make that move. You got to know. That same member was living with people, was living in and out of hotels, didn't have permanent residents, was living with people, and when people get upset, they had to move, and they were living in hotels, paying the a weekly rate to do and live in hotels. And one day they applied for an apartment, and it became available. And they called and said, Pastor, what do you think I should do about this apartment? You think I should move? I said, yeah, move into it. They said, well, I'm concerned. I don't have no furniture, and I don't have this. And this is what I told them. I said, make the move. I said, put your clothes on the floor and sleep on your clothes. Put your clothes on the floor and sleep on your clothes. Sleep on them. And guess what happened? Within a week or 2 weeks, their father saw that they had made a move and moved to their own place and came in and purchased and fully furnished their whole apartment. But he was waiting on them to make a move, because probably he would have did it earlier, but they were not stable. They were not where they even had a place. But when they got their own place, he bought everything in there. What are you saying? I'm saying, why are you sitting here? What you waiting on? You got to make a move, because you never know what God will do until you make a move. They said, look, if we sit here, we gonna die. And some of us, we can't be like the man at the pool says, Jesus said, will you be made whole? He said, I would. But every time the water's trouble, I ain't got no man to put me in the pool. Jesus had let him know, you don't need no man to put you in the pool. But if he really wanted to get healed that bad, no one had to pull him in the pool. He should have just let them put him on the edge of the pool. And when the angel troubled the water, I'd have rolled over in there. I'd have just rolled over in there and got mine. But we can't allow and be waiting on people. We got to get up and make some moves, y'all. These next 5 months are critical for many of us. We must make moves, church-wise, money-wise, relationship-wise. We got to make some moves, make some things, put them there. Because God has already set some things up. You just got to walk through that door and make it happen. All right? Let me close here. I want to challenge you, and I dare you to challenge yourself in these next 5 months to get up from where you're sitting and make a move. If you make moves, if you make a move, God is going to show you and surprise you on how things are going to turn out in your favor. Did you hear what I said? He's going to surprise you. You're going to be shocked how things turn out in your favor if you make a move. You can't be sitting here waiting on people. I'm here to tell you, can I be transparent? Sometimes you beat yourself up of the time you wasted waiting on people that had no intentions of doing anything they said they were going to do. And the only people that benefited from it was them and not you. That's a whole different story. Don't want to get into that. But think about it. Sometimes other people have benefited more than you. And even when you help people to get to the place they are, when they got there, they didn't reach back down and pull you up with them. They pulled other folk up that never did anything for them. They pulled other folk up that never helped them. And you were the one on the outside looking in. And so now you got to get up and say, look, I can't do that no more. It's critical. I'm through tonight. I was reading something that they asked the question that a young guy wanted to know why did older people, why they act certain ways when they get older. and what was their thing about things when they got older. So here was one of the things that caught my attention. The very first thing on the list that older people do, and I know I do this a lot, and that is once you get older, you think different. You know, I'm 62 now, and my tolerance level for drama and foolishness is very very low. I don't have that, and and I like my peaceful place. I like my peace spot. I can sit in my house all day and be comfortable. Used to be a time I had to be gone. I can sit here and be comfortable. I can sit and play with my grandkids, and I'm comfortable. I don't like getting in arguments with debates with people. That ain't what I want to do. Some things I could address, some things I could tackle, some things I just leave because I don't have no dog in that fight. It ain't mine. So I leave it. So if you want to get in a debate with me, that 2 and 2, this is what he said. If you want to get into a debate with me that 2 and 2 equals 5, guess what? You're right. 2 and 2 equals 5 if you said it does. We're not going to argue about it. My peace is not going to be disturbed trying to convince you that 2 and 2 don't equal 5. I know 2 plus 2 is 4. But if you think it's 5, God bless you. And I'm moving on. That's where you got to get in your life. You got to get to the place that I'm going to make some moves, and I can't be wasting time going back and forth with people. Back and forth, back and forth. That's a lot of wasted time. Sometimes you got to move, and I've taught this before. Sometimes you got to move in silence. I made a post earlier this week, and I'm closing with this one. I made a post earlier this week. Some of you talk about how much people hate you and your enemies. I need you to stop, because your enemies don't know what to do, and they wouldn't know what to do unless you told them. You keep telling your enemies what you're doing. You keep telling them the moves you making. You keep telling them which way you going. When people want to rob somebody, if they try to find out how they can rob them by finding their routine, their habits, how they go home all the time, and the hours. And some of you keep telling folk what to do. They didn't know certain things, but every time you open your mouth on social media and these other places, you just telling everybody your business. You telling them what's this and what's that. Some things is not to be shared. Some things you just got to let. It's like that statue. They don't let you see the statue before they unveil it. Some of you got to wait until it happened and then just let people see it. There's a reason they don't tell you which way the president's motorcade is going. They don't tell you that he's going this way or that way, because in case somebody tried to assassinate him, they don't reveal that to the public. They may tell you where he's going to end up, but they ain't telling you how he's going to get there. And many times you don't even know what car you think he's in, but you don't even know. Why? Because they trying to make sure that if there's an assassination attempt, that nobody knows which way he's coming. All they want you to know is when he get there, he's there. Some of you, if you stop talking so much, I'm finna get out of here. If you stop talking so much and be silent, hush your mouth and be quiet, you're going to find out that people won't know your business until they won't know you walked in that door until you get in it. They won't know that you got that promotion until you sitting at the desk. They won't know it, and they can't block it. They can't interfere with it. They can't try to convince somebody you're not worthy of it, because they didn't even know what was going to happen. Next thing they know, you was there, and they was like, How did you do that without me? I thought I was going to be the one to, no. That's why sometimes you just got to, I know you want to tell it. I know. You want to get it off your chest. You just got to tell somebody. You just got to make a post. You got to make a post and do like breaking news. I got to make this announcement. Some things you got to hold until it happens. And when it happens, then you can tell the whole world, hey, this is it. The Lord did this. Sometimes you don't tell nobody about all your house until you invite them over, and they want to know, well, whose house is this? Mine. What? Who caused this? Mine. When you get this? Oh, it's been in the working for a while, but I was just praying, and the Lord was working some things out. That's how you got to learn how to deal with stuff. Stop talking so much. I'm sorry. Some of you talk too much. If you're not talking verbally, you talking on this social media, everybody know your business. And you think it's cute, and it's not. Because they wouldn't know it if you didn't tell them. And then you get mad when people go to talking about you and saying stuff and being whatever, but you are the one been telling everybody. And now you mad. They don't like me. They trying to block me. No, you told them. So shut up. I'm sorry. Hush your mouth. Folk didn't even know you were discouraged till you told them. They didn't even know they were getting the best of you until you told them. They didn't even know what they did bothered you until you told them. You'd have went in there smiling. They'd have been confused. They'd have been like, why are they smiling? What's? But you keep telling them. So since you told them, they use it and they keep on doing it. So stop telling everybody your stuff. All right? All right, I'm getting out of here. I'm getting out. So make some moves. Got 5 months tomorrow. Let's go make some moves, y'all. Let's do it. Come on. Let's get it done. Let's get it done. And let's roll with it. And just enjoy the blessing of God and stop letting people, well, I ain't going to use that terminology, but yeah, stop letting people, bully you. Do what you do. Enjoy your life. We too old to be going through these changes, fighting with people and acting crazy. It's too much going on. Too much. And we got to do better. All right. Thank y'all so much for joining me tonight. I pray and trust that you got something out of this. I pray and trust that it has helped you in some kind of way. If you did, like and share it with somebody that may need to hear it later. Those that are watching live, those that are watching on demand, I need you to get this. Now, there are those, let me see, can I find it? There are those that would say, Pastor Martin, we would love to follow you and to be with you when you're live. Some of you get notifications when I'm live. Some of you, maybe you don't. But let me give you that information that if you want to follow me, you can. When we go live, let me pull the information up. I got it somewhere here. All right, let me go back to where it is. All right. And so you can follow me when we're live. Let me pull it up. All this technology stuff. I know y'all didn't know I actually do a lot of technology. If you want to follow me, you want to get notifications when I'm live on Mondays, Tuesday Bible study, or Sunday services, all you got to do is just text the number, text 770-282, I'm sorry, 770-282-7410, and just put on there, add my name to the list, and just give me your first name. I don't even need your whole name. Just say, add my name, add me to the list, give me your first name and your phone number, and we will make sure whenever we're going live, you'll get a text, you'll get a notification that we're live. So just give your first name, your number to 770-282-7410, You can do that and be a blessing. Now, there are others that have asked and said, Pastor Martin, you certainly bless us on these Monday nights. How can we do it? And many of you, you've even, I don't do this for that, but many of you even cash at me and stuff. And so that information is on the screen. If you want to do it, you can. My cash app is the $DLMSR. You can do that and cash at me if this has been a blessing. Drop 20, drop 10, drop 50. Who knows? It may have blessed you enough that you'll drop more. But use the cash app and be a blessing on this Monday night. All right. Well, I'm out of here. Thank you so much again for joining. We'll be back, the Lord's will, next Monday night. Tomorrow night is our Bible study, 7 o'clock. And then Sunday is first Sunday. I just feel something great is going to take place. Something great is going to happen. Thank you once again for joining me. Thank you once again for being here. We look forward to seeing you next Monday.